Today with me, Michael Anko is
Olukemi.
And my name is Olatunde Michael Daniel. Now, what we normally do is we have these various news that we actually review every week. Now, from yesterday, we had some various things, isn't it, Kemi?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So I'm going to kick off by talking about our first news review. It's about the monarch son that flees after cultist. He engaged to kill his father. Were actually caught. Now, this actually happened in Ogun State.
Oh, yes.
And this was something that actually came out of the area of Ogun State that is named as Boku, is Boku, Bogoto land. Bogoto land.
Bogoto land.
Bogoto land. Obaji Olukemi. There was an allegation that was actually leveled against the king's son, who have not been named, and is currently on the run. Apparently, what happened was that there was a distress call that was put from the king's palace.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was this distress call that was received, and the police actually went to the palace promptly. And when they got there, they found some 6 gunmen who apparently were cultists. And these cultists were invariably caught by the police.
Oh, yes.
Now, this was after, shootouts and all. Then what has happened is after some initial interrogation, these guys were now found to have been engaged, recruited by the king's son. So, and Denise actually coming out actually did say that what is really happening is that the king has issues with the son's mother.
Yes.
So we were not told exactly what it is, and now the guy is actually on the run, and the police, the commissioner of police for Ogun State has actually put out words that he should actually be found urgently, that they want him arrested. So tell me, Kemi, why would somebody want to kill his father?
His own father,
because of his mom? Come on.
I actually don't seem to understand this because, okay, let's look at it this way. Your father has an issue with your mother, which you didn't let them settle themselves. You had to come into it, gather
Maybe he loved his mom too much.
Gather people to kill your own father, which means you want your mother to be what? A widow? Then is that the solution to this?
It doesn't make sense.
Which is what I don't understand. And now you're on the run for your own life.
Wow.
So you think you've solved all this just by getting your father killed?
Look, put it this way. It's a bit like somebody that a fly lands on his nose and now brought out a pistol. Come on. What was he thinking?
I don't know.
What was he thinking?
Like, why do you have to go to that extent, killing your own father?
Yeah.
Honestly, I really cannot understand that.
So, I think, so the next one, I think that's from you. Yeah.
Yes, we have a story here about police officer arrest teacher for defiling people. Okay, so this story goes like, we have a 15-year-old teacher whose name is Ahmed. And he has been arrested for defiling a 7-year-old girl.
In which state is this actually?
This is Bauchi State.
In Bauchi State?
In Bauchi.
Wow.
And this is in the school premises.
Look, on the face of it, I'm thinking, hang on. Statistics, which I currently don't have, did say that we have more women than men. So you'll be thinking, this guy, should have been able to meet someone, at least meet a woman.
Out there, yes.
You should be able to actually meet a woman. You don't necessarily have to. Look, a child, 7 years old, does not have anything sexually that is developed that you want to look at.
What are you attracted to in a 7-year-old girl? This could be your sister, your little sister. So what are you exactly?
What are you talking about? Your sister care? How old is the guy again?
25 years old.
Okay.
Like, what lured you into that? What were you attracted to?
The girl doesn't have any frontal stuff to look at. Doesn't have any backyard to look at.
Exactly the point I was about to make. you hear them saying, okay, oh, you were you exposed your body, this is what you were wearing, this is now this is a 7 years old girl in a uniform. So what did you see in that?
Yeah, honestly, maybe
a teacher. So a 7 years old.
From what I can actually say, really, I think this person has some serious mental issues.
He sure do have it, because no, and this story has been going on and on and on and on.
There's different stories
everywhere about this. So like it's as if we can't even see the end of this.
No.
Every day different things are coming up on this same topic.
You know, I think we're going to be sort of monitoring the situation really to see. I don't know whether this thing has been endemic or something, because for the past few weeks, not just past few months, I don't think a day passes you don't find,
something related to this.
So something like, look, this is pedophile. This guy is a pedophile.
It really is.
So there seems to be the initial pedophilia on the rise, because we're seeing all these different people, almost every day. And the other thing that we're actually seeing as well is this. I noticed that there seems to be these issues of incest as well. We're seeing it quite. We're seeing almost every day, and I don't know why. That is just crazy. As of today, there was news somewhere that I think I saw briefly, and they were asking the man, "This is your daughter. Are you mad? Are you well?" And the man said he didn't know what came over him.
As they say, the devil.
Honestly, yeah. To be quite honest, I don't. When you look at that, I don't know what is going on, but I don't think it's something that is.
And this is something that actually has to be taken seriously.
No, I mean it's definitely something that has to be taken seriously, because children. Look, this is a child that has trust, and being in the company of an adult. We shouldn't be having a situation where our children now be afraid to actually
approach your own teacher. This is your teacher. This is not like in your neighborhood, maybe an uncle called you inside his room. This is your teacher calling you into his office.
And the sad thing, there was a situation as well recently, quite a few weeks back. And what's happened is that we actually found these were boys, not by a female teacher. Female teacher with boys. Before it should be something that men.
Opposite, yeah.
But now we're having women in America, for instance. I'm not sure whether they've caught. I don't think I've heard any cases in Nigeria, but internationally, like areas like in the US, in Europe now, we're having this situation. Women, married women, married teacher, actually sleeping with the students. There was even a case of where the female student, the female teacher, got pregnant for the student.
Oh my God.
So there's something wrong. I don't know whether it's our liberalism on these views that are causing it. I don't know. But all I know is that this sort of things need to come to an end. We can't continue.
It really does, because it's.
So what do we have next?
Okay, so we have a man who kills a newly wedded couples just because the lady
killed a newly wedded couple.
Yes, he did. He set them on fire just because the woman was supposed to marry him, but then left him to marry another man after spending 150,000 on the woman.
Okay.
And this is a man from Anambra State, Ibrahim Muhammadu.
No. Let me get this straight. This guy killed a couple because
he was supposed to marry the woman.
Right, okay.
But she left him to marry another man.
Okay.
But he is angry now, like, okay, it's as if you're taking my woman from me after spending a lot of money on her. And he has his own wife and children.
Put it this way, the guy must have been watching Chinese movies.
What are you expecting? You are spending so much on this woman because you want to marry her, and she doesn't want to be with you. Now she ended up marrying someone else.
Okay.
Then you hired someone to go and set them on fire.
There are some movies that we actually watch on TV. Nollywood Nigerians, yeah, and you find out that some of these things are, when you watch it, you think, oh, it's not reality, but
they happen.
Look, this is what I believe. If you have a man and a woman in a relationship, and one of these situations actually arises, no matter how you feel, as long as there is a point of choice, if there is no coercion and those people involved actually made their decision, that has to be respected.
Of course.
We've had people who have made decisions and have regretted their decisions. But for someone to take action to say, because, oh, you went and married somebody else,
and I'm supposed to be the answer,
and then you now go and look for one 1922, I said 1922, 2022 ninja. No, that guy has a real issue. Because the main thing that is there is this, right? If the lady wanted to be with him, she will have
it was an easy choice. Exactly, like she doesn't want to.
What are you talking about?
And you're standing on the fact that you spent 150,000 on her.
So, the one that you used to buy chicken and chips. I bet that guy does not know.
And then this is even the funny part. The man he hired to go and
people who come and tell him to.
The man he hired to go and set these people on fire.
Okay.
He gave him just 5,000 naira. So they gave you 5,000 naira to go and kill people.
Have you ever heard that when people want to do good things, yeah, when people want to do good things, it's, what does it cost? It costs
a lot.
You understand? But you know what? When people want to now do evil,
it's as if they're just standing there ready to do anything.
Just do me a favor now.
Like taking lives.
Yeah, look, we have lots of men and women now walking around and not exactly what I would refer to as being matured. You know, relationship are things that most people think they understand, but they end up finding that it is not what they think it is. You understand? We're in a situation in this country where we don't know how this actually got to be. But one thing, let's make one thing clear.
Yeah.
The man does not have the right whatsoever. Let him spend 1 billion on her.
That was her choice.
If she has gone there of her own volition, she has gone there of her own volition.
So why should you just respect that?
You should just respect that.
What I don't even understand is you have your own wife and you have 4 kids. So what wife are you looking for?
Let me ask you one question. In a situation where people actually make decisions when it comes to relationship, I think sometimes we think we know it.
Yes.
Do you understand? That is why I said if we want to, anyway, thank God we'll be coming out with a relationship program very soon. I found out that quite a lot of people have this simplistic view. I'm not saying we are being simplistic about it, but there are factors that actually we don't know
exactly what happened.
Let's put it this way. You know, the focus of the this in itself is about the woman leaving the guy. I won't say he left the guy. Just she
made another choice of marrying another person.
She married somebody else, and it is what she wanted. You understand? As against not what you want. You know, if you compel somebody to do something, it's a different ballgame entirely.
Yes.
If you compel them, then there is a repercussion on it. And when we don't understand those things, then we begin to think, hang on the face of it, we're like, what's the matter with the babe now?
You shouldn't be like this, yes, after spending so much money on you.
But the truth of the matter is this, right? It could have gone either way. The point and the focus is that this man became mad. He probably was sane before, so he became a madman. He went and hired somebody
to take lives.
To go and take somebody's life. No. That means that is somebody that can accept the fact that, look, if the person has left, they have left. End of story.
I mean, this is really sad.
This is basically on the face of it. Okay? So there's no justification for that. Why would you go and kill her? For what?
Even if probably the lady has accepted to marry you before and then she changed her mind, because I really cannot view this. You spent money on her,
What were
you were expecting? Because this is what happens a lot. Some people, they send the lady to schools, universities and all, and then maybe she meets someone else at the university and gets married to them, and then they start getting...
I can assure you that there have been situations, I can assure you, there have been situations where we've actually had, you know, similar things happen for different reasons. And unfortunately, people don't always understand the dynamics behind any of those things.
Yeah.
But thank God that in this situation, what we are told is that this guy went and killed somebody, which is, the guy probably will be in the hottest part of, how can I be? Should be getting ready for the hottest part of There was no reason to do that. There's absolutely... Every human being has a free choice.
Even, okay, so let's even say you want to take your revenge on the lady. Now the husband too is dead, the lady is dead. So what is your take? And obviously you're going to also rot in jail.
You can have him or her. Nobody can.
Exactly. Because now you're also facing the law. So what did you gain?
Nothing.
Just
nothing.
Nah.
So
it's crazy how people think of so many things.
Lot of intrigues and lot of more of that coming on our
on
our relationship. Here bringing special panel. All right. Okay. So
on the last topic here, we have 60 million Nigerians suffering from mental illnesses.
Okay.
So this Professor Taiwo Obido, President of Association of Psychiatrists, he said we have 60 million Nigerians suffering from mental illnesses.
Right.
Okay, now, and they said out of these 60 million, we only have 10% that has been taken care of, proper care.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the 50 million left out of these 60 millions, who is taking care of them? How are they being taken care of?
You know, when I first heard this information, I know for a close fact that at least for Nigeria, I did psychology as my first degree, and I actually did remember as well that we went to Araye, the psychiatric hospital in Abeokuta, and honestly, when I see the sort of work, this is not general nursing, this is not general hospital. These people with mental illnesses. And is one of the most difficult illness to actually treat. And in this day and age, if you look at it right, we're now having issues. People have anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, people are having anxiety disorder. We have people that in extreme form, psychotic, who have psychotic episodes. Then we now, in fact, we have people we now have things like depression.
Exactly. Extreme. Too much.
You know, I was looking at some news, I think that was last year, and I noticed that on Instagram, we have all these artists who were coming in. And what were they having? They were all coming up saying, depression.
Yes.
There were some that I felt, you get depression, that, you get.
A lot of people are going through that.
You know, how can you?
You won't know.
I now realize that people don't know, honestly, because the only way people are sensitive, we know in certain ways. The person always withdrawn. When you have somebody that is always, outgoing and all that, calm, all of a sudden the person doesn't engage anymore. When you call them, they don't pick their calls. They don't go out. You'll notice things like not having they don't have their bounce.
They don't text back.
Yeah, they don't. Then they probably in most instances they don't engage. They don't have any social life. They don't have any social life. And this is that area. No, I'm trying to get something up here. When you have somebody that is being, depression. Of course, depression is not something to be taken lightly at all. It is not. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, when they don't see you doing like Jagaban, they say
something is wrong somewhere.
Something is wrong somewhere. No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. So, you actually have this situation whereby we need the government to be in charge. The government cannot just go around and just say, they don't, especially in Nigeria, for some reason, looking around in Lagos, I found out that you don't see that many people with psychiatric challenges. That does not mean, I don't know whether they are shipping them somewhere. But there was a time that, before you go to almost any area, you will see one. You will see one in one area. And I think some of the social words that we use does not really help. Sometimes, socially,
so even most of them that are going through that, they don't know how to voice out to so many people that, okay, this is what I'm going through. Before they say, oh no, she's crazy, she's this, she's that.
This way, it says depression, feelings of severe despondency and dejection, self-doubt creeps in, and just swiftly turns to depression. Is one of the worst things that can happen to anybody. We don't all know it all.
Yeah.
We don't know it all. But people need to be sensitive when we're dealing with people.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why I always tell people that, look, if you have issues or anything with anyone, it's always better that you engage. You'll be surprised at what you will find. If I'm standing in front of you, if I see you behaving in certain ways, I can easily make judgment based on what I can see. But that's the most stupidest thing ever. Until you know why or what is going on or the root cause of the thing.
Act or whatsoever like that.
You don't.
There's one thing I like about my friends. There's a way we treat ourselves.
Okay.
Everybody likes talking. We play with ourselves a lot, and we're about 6.
Okay.
Especially me.
Oh, you guys didn't go to Sorry. I probably love that.
Okay, so there's this thing we do.
Right.
If they notice that I'm just seated in a corner, I'm calm, probably I'm just pressing my phone, or I'm just sleeping, I'm like, I want to sleep. They obviously know that something is wrong. I personally don't like talking about things when it's still hot.
Okay.
So I prefer to be calm before I start. Before I start pouring everything out.
Sure.
So what they do is, they don't just leave me there, even in as much as I want to be alone.
Sure.
They don't leave me there. They come around, hey, what's up, buddy? Also make sure not to pass that line.
Okay, so they respect the boundaries.
Yes, they just come, check up on you. They know that when you're ready to talk you voice out. But at the same time, when it's taking too long, then they just come, babe, you really need to talk about this.
Sure.
So just imagine, there are so many people that...
You have great friends who...
Exactly, and this is what we do to ourselves. So if someone is going through something, at least they know that they have someone there. I have this friend of mine too. Once we know that she's in that zone, everybody just goes to her house. We're all over her house. We go to her house. We're all over the bed with her. Like, we are here with you. Anything, let's go through it together.
Which school did you guys go to? Did you guys go to only child or?
I think we're just proud of ourselves. We don't because this thing is scary. We've seen a lot of people die from depression. There's this 21-year-old boy in, I heard his story like some months ago. How did he die? Because there was nobody to talk to. I think he was raped in his school by some guys too. So there was nobody to talk to. He just killed himself. And why? Nobody to talk to. No parents are there. No friends are there. Which is why they say no matter what, be an hearer. Just be there. Listen to the person.
In Nigeria, look, I think your situation, even though we're still talking about this, it's quite, you guys are exceptions. I mean, you are an exception, your group of friends. I don't personally know of any group of friends who would do that. Of course, I have friends who, once in a while, they don't see me, T, what's up now? Even sometimes. Look, everybody has a down moment.
Yes.
That is the fact of life.
Everybody has,
so, and you find it in the workplace, you find it in, socially, but it's not something you will see quite often.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
With that.
It's not something that you see quite often. Yesterday, somebody sent me something from, I'm not sure whether it was Twitter, and what they sent was really surprising. It was a woman told me, Landry, this was yesterday. Young girl, this girl could not be more than maybe 25, 24. She was trying to do what?
Right,
I remember now, and I saw it at on Ireland.
Oh my God.
Somebody came out, this gentleman came out of the sky. Obviously didn't show his own face, and he was recording. I took exception to that because I'm thinking somebody is trying to jump.
Your dear.
And the first thing you carry is not first aid box, you are carrying with my camera.
I said so many things are actually wrong with us.
I hope you are well. You know, no, and he only stopped recording because one man shouted at him.
Just imagine.
That, what's the matter with you? We're trying to, it took almost about 4 or 5 different people to hold this woman. She was like, no, I'm not, look, this is not a market looking woman. This was a babe.
Proper one.
Do you understand? So for somebody to get to that stage, to want to jump inside her, I don't know whether they've broken her heart too.
A lot would have been wrong.
I think, well, I would think maybe it's a relationship thing. How many people know, you know, what is the judgment that people have done that we don't know what the repercussion of those things are?
Yes.
This girl was like, please, she was fighting them. You know, some people when they restrain them, they just be looking and say that, oh, my life.
She has totally given up on everything.
But this one, they were holding her, she was fighting them. They literally held her down. At the same time, this one was not thinking about that. You know, some people, they will look at them.
They're still not sure. Waiting for someone to come and save them.
It's a serious thing that we're talking about, you know, and I don't really want to make light of it.
No, but this is
honestly,
serious.
This person,
and something needs to be done about all these things.
Exactly. And if you remember, there was one that happened a couple of months back. The boy that jumped. They asked him that, what are you doing? He said, just wait and see. And he jumped. This was live. It was shown. And everybody could say, well, like, what? Because if you look at it, it's on the increase. Third Mainland Beach is now a place of choice. So
seriously,
it has now become a suicide hotspot. And I think the government need to make the, you know, young, old, elderly women was actually stopped too. I think that was some couple of years ago. This woman was like maybe 60 something. They grabbed her and she was like, no, I just want to go. Medical doctor, same thing, on that same, you know, on that same bridge. Why is the government not taking action on that? I'm not saying that that's to solve the issue or the root of the problem, but at least we are preventing people. Because some people sometimes all they just need is just reassurance. That's all they need.
And there are so many ways to even calm all this. It's not just about friends or family. Okay, we're looking at it now. Since they said they could actually take care of 10%, which means medically they had something that they could do.
Okay, but why is it that we're not having private initiatives? We have all these multinationals and we have, you know, indigenous companies as well in Nigeria. Why are we not? I think we need to do a program on this, honestly, because you'll be surprised that almost everybody has a story to tell.
Yes.
And when I say story, I'm talking of some things that people are, because look, Nigeria is a harsh environment. Let's don't mince words about it. And in an environment like that, we need to be sensitive to our people, because, you know, by our very culture, you don't talk about things that you are seen as you are a weak woman, weak man. You don't be strong, man. You know that kind of thing. Yes. You know, so that, you know, look, you can say that in the movie because it's not reality. But when you are talking of real men, real women, children are having depression these days. You know, and I think we need to invite some, what I would call, you know, like some psychologists.
Yes.
We need to actually invite them
and elaborate more on this.
You know, and let's talk about it and profess, you know, ways. What is even the basic ways that you can actually help to? I mean, recently in our area, we had the guy who stopped a car, and the car got broken down, and he went there and said he wanted money. The police invariably came, and this guy saw police with gun, and he was still like, They ended up killing the guy because, according to report, they said he was dragging the gun with them, and you know. The circumstances, although this is not about an indictment on the police, what could cause somebody, because I later was told that the guy was even the baile in the area, that he went and faced the baile, that this guy was fearless, and people were like, but I said no, that is no longer boldness.
Yes.
Do you understand? That is not courage. courage is basically, facing something that in your heart you have trepidations, but you are still focused on it. But you know where to draw the line.
The lines, yes.
Somebody comes with you with a gun and you are remembering Bruce Lee. What is that?
Right? No fear of gun.
No fear, exactly. No fear of gun. So he wants to do what? He wants to die over what? So, I mean, that's it anyway. So, definitely we'll be looking to, I think it's one of the things that we can actually here at G9ijaTv be able to bring up and have a whole program of this.
Yes, we actually need to listen to solutions instead of just talking more about it.
All right. So, what do you reckon? Do you think do you have anything more?
I think we're good to go about this.
Good to go. Yeah. Okay then. All right. So, folks, well, that's it. We are actually done. So, I don't know if you have anything to say.
I would just say everybody should be nice. Be nice to people. You never can tell what is going on. Just be nice. It doesn't take anything from you. Very nice.
True. Very true. So, from us, we'll be seeing you all, I think that will be next week.
Oh, yes.
And so we're saying au revoir. And what's that other... you guys talk again, but
ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. I'm not Chinese, well, after my this stuff. Ciao, ciao. Which one is ciao? Is that French?